Right now, I just want to go into a bit more detail on what Passion for the Nation is. If you haven't been there, if you didn't go last year, you might be wondering, well, what's going on and what's the purpose of this? So the vision of Passion for the Nation is to release the passion, giftings, resources, and labors among Asian American congregation for the global advancement of God's kingdom. And why passion? Because it's not just a duty or an obligation. We got to be passionately involved. And the giftings refer to the God-given talents, the educational backgrounds of Asian Americans, and also the bicultural identity. And why resource? Because our community has material abundance. We have access to Western mission structure. We have training, and we have experience. And why laborers? Because the harvest is plentiful, but the Asian American workers are still few. And why the congregation? Because we believe that the whole church needs to be involved, not just individuals. We need to mobilize the entire congregation. And kingdom. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and not just to proclaim, but to live it out, and not just to declare, but to display. And it's not just a message, but a life transformation. And the objective of the conference is threefold: to first inform, second inspire, and third integrate. What are we informing? We hope that people can gain a biblical perspective of God's heart for the nations and understand the current global crisis and the neglected frontiers in missions. And to discover the opportunities as well as the challenges unique to Asian Americans' involvement in the cross-cultural ministries. Second, we want to inspire, to stir a passion to see Jesus exalted and worshipped among all peoples, and encourage and challenge through testimonies of ordinary people used by an extraordinary God. And third, we want to integrate. Traditionally, we think only people who go overseas are legit missionaries. But the fact is, when one person goes out, there needs to be at least 20 people supporting him in the back for them to be sustained for long-term effectiveness. So OMF came out with the book, Christ's Hand, 6 Ways of Reaching God's World. And it says that all 6 of these practices, to go and to pray, and send, welcome, mobilize, learn, that these are all equally important. We honor the people that go, but not just them, but also the people who sacrifice their time to pray, who sacrifice their finances to send, and those who open up their homes to strangers, and those who sacrifice their energy to mobilize, and also those who spent valuable time to learn about missions. And that's where it all starts. And these are the steps of integrating a lifestyle of missions. Our slogan, our challenge to the people is, are you willing to give up your American dream for God's dream to impact the nations? Our dear friend, Mike Tsang, was the director of Passion for the Nations last year. And he is walking the talk. He and his family left for overseas missions to the unreached people group of Tibet, reaching the Tibetans. And Mike, he was an oil engineer for like 8 or 9 years, very successful. And Nancy was a very good elementary teacher. And both of them had a comfortable lifestyle in nice Orange County. But they chose to give that up and went to a very uncomfortable land and learned a foreign language, starting all over like a baby. You know, why? Why are people, families like his, willing to do this? So lost souls may have eternal life, so that he can make Christ known to people who would otherwise never have a chance. And we need to raise up more people like Mike's family who are willing to live sacrificial lives. And that's our goal. Last month, I don't know if you heard, but there was another major earthquake in the Tibetan area of Yushu. And you could see like it's just being devastated again and again. And Mike's oil engineering background was put into use because they started to build purification water systems. Without that, they're always bringing water from the outside, and it's never ending. But to build something sustainable in that area, that's the long-term effectiveness. And Mike's, I mean, water and oil is kind of different, but also kind of similar. And they're not just offering clean water, but the living water that can quench their spiritual thirst. And the target audience of the conference, we're aiming for not limiting it to the 1.5 generation, the immigrant church, the second generation Asian American churches. Ideally, the people who come are in college from 18 to 40. We're aiming at career professionals, seminarians, college students, and even high school students. And if people younger than that or older than that want to come, we welcome them with open arms. It's just the topic is more aimed towards this age group, that's all. The areas we really want to mobilize is Los Angeles, Orange County, Riverside, and San Diego County. But last year, I mean, God brought people even from Colorado and Texas and Kansas, and we were just like, what? How did you even hear about us, you know? I have no idea, but God's divine appointment. So I don't know who will show up this year. And the 2010 plenary speakers include James Chung. He's the National Director of Asian American Ministries of InterVarsity, and he'll be sharing the big story, kind of like what the gospel is about. And also Professor Lim Barlotti, he's a professor of Islamic studies at Biola University, and he was a missionary in the Middle East for about 14 years. And he's going to be talking about God's love for the Muslims and how the Christian response should be. And also our dear Pastor John at the Center Church, right here. And I think I gave you the topic, right? Blessed to be a blessing. And the Asian American community is really blessed because of our ancestor, our forefather, our parents, grandparents' hard work ethic results in us having a very comfortable life. But I don't believe we stop there. We're blessed to be a blessing, and that's definitely a message that is dear to us. And here are some tentative workshops. The Peace Plan, which Long and Denise are a part of, and Impacting Nations by Welcoming International Students, How to Share the Gospel. Pastor Kyle is going to be sharing about that. Practical Ways to Care for Your Missionaries, Reaching the Last, the Lost, and the Least, English Language Teaching and Missions, also Music and Missions, and The Rise of Asian Theology, Theology in the 21st Century, which will be taught by Pastor James. Also, What? A Girl Like Me in Missions? Not me, but girls. Intercession for the Nations, Maximum Impact Through Medical Missions, Back to Jerusalem Movement, Meeting Conflict in the Asian American Context, and Living Out Your Faith in the Marketplace. And there will be a few more. We haven't put it up yet, but we're going to confirm in the next couple months. So that's basically a broad overview of what Passion for the Nations is about. Any questions so far?
Just one day.
Yes. So far, it's just one day. In the future, maybe it's going to be more, which we want to receive input from all the churches as well. You know, we thought making it one day would be very accessible. People don't have to take time off to come, but they would come and still get connected with a bunch of different people. But also there are great benefits of having it 3 days or even, you know, more, because of just we can go so much deeper if the time was longer. But that's really up to what you guys would have to say about that.